Live from Brandy 100 in the great state of Delaware. This is my bad. The Busk at Dusk. Chased by the hawk, a morning dove crashed through the screen on our back porch, where it then flew circles until weary it fell down on the floor. I opened up the old stone door, thinking that dove would fly away, but it ignored my feeble gift. It simply stared the other way. Wild beat the wings, wild beat the heart, wild beat the things that tear us apart. My darling smiled at me and said, the poor thing's lost and terrified. She took that dove into her hands, carried it gently out to the sky. Wild beat the wings, wild beat the heart, wild beat the things that tear us apart. And as that bird took to the air, I could not help but recall a time or two I was unaware of open doors in my old prison walls. The first time she smiled at me, she said, we're each broken in our own ways. She took my love into her hands, letting me go, letting me stay. Wild beat the wings, wild beat the heart, wild beat the things that tear us apart. The younger man, I must confess, was once set free by her tenderness. Hi, everybody. Hello, Shirley and Greg and Heidi and all of the other folks out there on the internet. Hope you had a good summer. I had a great summer. Bunch of adventures. Played some really wonderful shows. Had a bit of a mishap with my old D28 here. was doing a show up in New York in late July, and an overly exuberant stagehand dropped some gear on my beloved old Martin and dented my heart, splintered my spirit. But the folks at Martin were really kind, and within days they had it all patched up for me. Especially a guy named Dave Regic, Floyd Herrera, and Ramin Shaikh, and actually 3 guys. I appreciated their help, and the songs for them. In Nazareth they did produce from rosewood and from Sitka spruce a friend of mine who like me seemed both fool and brave enough to dream, bucking headwinds and the tide of expectation to decide a poet's path could set us free. We went for broke and came to be kindred spirits bound together, sometimes by a strap of leather. Roads we shared and deeper things that drew and dared our souls to sing. Back then our faces seemed to shine to flat picks carved and Sharpies signed the names of those who left their marks indelibly upon our hearts. We worked our way up from the bars and opened shows for shooting stars as bands of brothers came and went, and songs became like sacraments. Kindred spirits bound together, sometimes by a strap of leather. Roads we shared and deeper things that drew and dared our souls to sing. Sometimes drunk and out of tune, we howled half crazy at the moon. Change is clearing us of crimes that we've committed with ragged rhymes. We stood with heroes on the stage, sang for those kept in a cage, and others that the world disdained as through the long years we remained. Kindred spirits bound together, sometimes by a strap of leather. Roads we shared and deeper things that drew and dared our souls to sing. I'd make my stands with this slug across my back when we were young. And we're both longer in the tooth, still out here trying to tell the truth. With shield and buckler raised against this world's bemused indifference to errant knights who'd rather fail yield the quest to seek the grail. Yeah, we've been cheered, we've been booed, but mostly I feel gratitude, unbound by fame and fortune's myth, for friends the highways blessed me with. Kindred spirits bound together, sometimes never knowing whether. Roads we shared and deeper things drew and dared our souls to sing. In Nazareth they did produce from rosewood and from Sitka spruce a friend of mine who like me seemed both fool and brave enough to dream. Who else is showing up? Hi, Cheryl and Joanne and Donna. I'll do this one for Donna if I can remember it. Hello, Danny. So you speak to me of sadness and the coming of the winter. Fear that is within you now seems to never end, and the dreams that have escaped you, the hope that you've forgotten. Tell me that you need me now. You want to be my friend. You wonder where we're going. Where's the rhyme? Where's the reason? But it's you cannot accept. It is here we must begin to seek the wisdom of the children. Find the graceful way of flowers in the wind. Oh, the children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers. Their laughter and their loveliness could clear a cloudy day, like the music of the mountains, the colors of the rainbow, their promise for the future and a blessing for today. Now the cities start to crumble and the towers fall around us. The sun is slowly fading and it's colder than the sea. It is written from the deserts to the mountains, they shall lead us by the hand and by the heart. They will comfort you and me with their innocence and trusting. They will teach us to be free. Beside us, we can find a better way. John Denver. So, some shows coming up for those of you that like to see me other than in 2 dimensions on your phone or iPad. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing a concert at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Lahaska. And the church is sponsoring the show, so it's free to anybody who comes. And they're going to have, I believe, hot cider and like a little bit of a bonfire, and it should be a really cool event. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't played up in Lahaska in a lot of years. I used to play at a hotel up there, and I'm gonna have trouble remembering the name of the place. But I worked at back when I was singing bar gigs for a living. I played up there on weekends for maybe a year or 2 at least. And if anybody remembers the name of that place, let me know. But anyway, I'm hoping that I'll get to reconnect with some old friends. And then next week, speaking of old friends, I'm going to play at my friend Lee Bauer's home in Villanova. The Musical Layers house concert is one of my favorite, and I have played house concerts from coast to coast, so I know what I'm talking. Spotted Hog, Greg says that is correct. You win a request for next week. It was indeed the Spotted Hog. So anyway, next Saturday the 28th, which is going to be an amazingly busy day for me because at 1 p.m. I will be in Kennett Square, rappelling down the side of an 8-story building. So I've bored you with my tale of overcoming my acrophobia. I did once. My fear of heights did not go away, so I get to do it again. And at this point, I was attempting to raise $1,000 for Camp Dreamcatcher, which is a therapeutic summer camp for kids dealing with AIDS, HIV. And anyway, we, due to the graciousness of some of my friends and fans, we surpassed the $1,000 mark last night, and we're, I think, over $1,500 at this point. But if you would like to contribute, there's no ceiling on this, and they can use all the money we can gather for them. But anyway, I'll be rappelling down the side of the tallest building in Kennett Square, 8 stories, and that's at 1 p.m. At 3 p.m., God willing, I'll be in Wilmington, Delaware, facilitating a returning citizens meeting, a next step meeting, which we do every Saturday for our guys coming out of prison. And then that night at, I guess at a 7 p.m. show in Villanova. So it's going to be a very busy day, and I will be highly caffeinated. I have not come to save you, but when I look at you, I do not see a damsel in distress. I have not come to change you, your desperado soul is perfect as it is, though I confess. You say I'm a sight for sore eyes, but I think you and me are both half blind. You can't see the beauty that's inside you, and I can't see quitting on a friend of mine. I've not come to heal you. You don't need to be cured. The scars we bear are holier than shrines. If tears can teach our eyes to see with tenderness the wounds that we've been tempted to despise. You say I'm a sight for sore eyes, I think you and me are both half blind. You can't see the beauty that's inside you, and I can't see quitting on a friend of mine. Baby, love ain't nothing but a mirror, one that shows you who you really are. Maybe mine can show you someone you have been a stranger to so far. I have not come to fix you. I know deep inside you're not and never have been powerless. But I will share the darkness that you are walking through, till you find the light that you possess. You say I'm a sight for sore eyes, and I think you and me are both half blind. You can't see the beauty that's inside you, and I can't see quitting on a friend of mine. No, I ain't quitting on a friend of mine. So I was in Kerrville, Texas at a folk festival back in May. Actually, I got to host their annual New Folk contest for emerging songwriters, which was really a blast and kind of sweet, because I had applied for that contest and been, turned down when I was just an emerging songwriter. So to be asked to come back and host it was kind of like, it was very, very a nice feeling. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I was also one of the artists that performed the opening weekend of the festival. And the Kerrville Festival goes on for weeks. It's really awesome. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. But so I got done my set, and it was just an amazing audience. The reaction of the crowd was incredible. And when I walked off stage, I bumped into Ray Wiley Hubbard, alt country, outlaw, singer-songwriter legend, kind of the godfather of the Austin, underground, and one of the coolest dudes on the planet. And Ray said, "Get out your cell phone." So I got out my cell phone. He said, "Punch this number in." And I punched the number in. He said, "Push send." And I pushed send, and his cell phone rang. He said, "Now we got each other's cell phone numbers." He said, "We got to talk, man. We got to get you back to Texas more often." Which that was just the coolest compliment I could ever get. And so I got home, and I was just kind of like chilling, waiting for the big call, waiting for the call from Austin, right? And finally it came. I was home about 3 days, and my cell phone rang, and the caller ID said Ray Wiley Hubbard. And I answered the call, and I got this song. I got butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard. Got liner notes by Chris Christopherson. I rode upon the city of New Orleans with Arlo and the whole dang Guthrie clan. I have shared the mic with Willie Nelson. On Harpoon. Got butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard. Guess folk music is bound to pay off soon. I just saw Donna's post about her meta and the chiggers. I won't tell you that story tonight. But it's hard to keep a straight face remembering the first time I played that festival. We had some fun. I gotta stop looking at the comments while I sing. When my son was just 13 or 14, my son Cole, this is true, he kidded me about rock star must surely be a folk music black hole. Though from time to time there have been moments when I admit I thought the kid was right. Something in my pocket just vibrated. I think we all know how painful that can be. I can't second guess my life tonight, 'cause I got butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard, got liner notes by Chris Christopherson. I wrote from the city of New Orleans with Arlo and the whole dang Guthrie clan. I have shared the mic with Willie Nelson. I backed up old Pete Seeger on Harpoon. Got butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard. Guess folk music is bound to pay off soon. You know, I get to sing and speak out boldly, to say things that I think need to be said. I get to exorcise the ghosts and demons that otherwise would haunt my heart and head. Get to sleep on all manner of couches, make all kinds of friends across this land. There's probably better ways to make a living, but there's no better way to live, my friends, than to get butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard, get liner notes by Chris Christopherson, go riding on the city of New Orleans with Arlo and the whole dang Guthrie clan. I have shared the mic with Willie Nelson, hung out with Ramblin' Jack in old saloons, but who hasn't done that? Got butt dialed by Ray Wiley Hubbard. Guess folk music is bound to pay off soon. I even busk and dusk. This folk music is bound to pay off soon. I did end up hearing from Ray, and actually we've talked quite a bit, and he absolutely loved that song. Here's a song that I debuted at the Philadelphia Folk Festival. I wasn't planning on doing it, and circumstances conspired. Actually, I had a special guest in the audience that night, somebody who hadn't come to see me perform in decades. And since I had this song in my back pocket, I figured I'd play it, and I'm glad I did, and I'm going to be playing it a bit, I guess. brother watches Fox News, he hates MSNBC. He calls liberals commies, ain't much on which we agree. But you'd be wrong to think his heart ain't good or kind or true. That's why I often ask myself, what would my brother do? People get worked up about all kinds of stuff these days, 'cause the things the pundits and the politicians say. If he saw you hurting, he'd reach out his hand to you. That's why I often ask myself, what would my brother do? God knows that I don't have all the answers, but I get a little smarter when I try, remembering that there is more to people than stuff on which we don't see eye to eye. Branches from the same tree do not all point the same way. Looking for the light, they grow apart more every day. Push come to shove, I'd have his back, he would have mine too. That's why I often ask myself, what would my brother do? God knows that I don't have all the answers, but I get a little smarter each time I try, remembering that there is more to people than stuff on which we don't see eye to eye. Brother watches Fox News, he hates MSNBC. He owns the libs and shakes his head at old hippies like me. But men with hearts as big as his are far apart and few. That's why I often ask myself, what would my brother do? Sometimes I wonder if it would surprise him if he knew. It did surprise him, I think. That I often ask myself, what would my brother do? So, we've tried the old Busk at Dusk in different distributions or configurations. You know, we did it the first few years. I did it every week, and then I sensed a fatigue. And I'm not sure we've overcome that fatigue, but we cut it back to every other week last year, and I found that less satisfying for some reason. But I was talking to Tom Rush at one point about, you know, because he was doing these kind of streaming shows from his home, as was Livingston Taylor, and both of those guys said, an hour is too long. Tom was saying, you got to do like 20 minutes. That's the most you can hold people's attention in this medium. So, you know, think about just making it short and sweet. And Livingston had kind of the same impulse. So I was thinking what we might try, what I'm going to try, because I'm saying we like you're having an input. You have no input. This is my decision, and so I'm going to kind of limit these to a 30-minute format. I'm going to try and do them every week. So you know, unless I'm on the road and can't do it, or it's I got an actual paying job. Which I will drop you guys in a heartbeat for a paying job. So anyway, given that I've already gone over my half-hour good target, and I probably will end up doing that anyway. But if I'm having a good time, I'm just going to sing. But I thought I would do one more for you, and then we'll hopefully see you next week, and you guys will get other people to watch. Word of mouth is such a powerful thing, and my fans tend to be very introverted and shy. So if you like what you're hearing, tell somebody and bring them to the digital campfire next week. If you don't like what you're hearing, bring an enemy. Make them sit through it. Anyway, it's been great to be on with you for a few minutes, and I'll leave you with this one, and look forward to seeing you soon. I hope maybe I'll see somebody in Lahaska tomorrow night, or in Villanova next week. A couple nights ago I dreamt I wrote a special song. It wasn't complicated and it wasn't very long. I dreamt I took my old guitar and played it in the streets. People gathered round to hear a simple song of peace. What started as a tiny crowd would soon become a throng, and everyone who heard me sing began to sing along. Their voices then were lifted up, carried on the breeze, till all across the land was heard a simple song of peace. East and west, from north and south, I heard a single choir. Singing seemed to take away our fear, though times were dire. The news came from around the world that war and violence ceased. As love at last was set free by a simple song of peace. I shook my head, remembering the long and lonely years when every song I wrote would seem to fall upon deaf ears. In all those moments of self-doubt that somehow led to these, tears filled my eyes then as I sang that simple song of peace. A child in the crowd came up and tugged upon my sleeve. He said, "You're only dreaming, John, and now it's time to leave." And just before I woke, I whispered to myself, "Oh, please, when you wake, do not forget this simple song of peace." I woke and lay in darkness in those hours before the dawn, anguished to discover that the song of peace was gone. Till birds outside my window started singing in the trees, and I smiled to hear again a simple song of peace. There's a simple song of peace in each and everything, rocks and birds and trees and waters. If we're listening, we're all radios tuned in to quantum frequencies. The universe is singing us a simple song of peace. Peace be with you. I'll see you guys next week. Good night.